What's going on, guys? I'm your host Sean Grande and welcome to another edition of What's in the Pot. And today we're making stew beef. Not beef stew, but we're making stew beef. Caribbean style, Trinidad style, Trini Shata, Sean Grande style, stew beef. It's What's in the Pot. So these are the ingredients we are going to be using for the stew beef. So I have about quarter onion and about 6 or 7 of these baby tomatoes. You can use any kind of tomatoes if you want. If you use a whole tomato, it's up to you. I got about 3 to 4 pounds of beef, and it's any kind of stewing beef. I got 1 Scotch bonnet pepper and about 5 pimentos chopped up. I got 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. So that's 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and a teaspoon and a bit of any kind of hot sauce, pepper sauce, anything you like to use. I got a teaspoon, actually 2.5 teaspoons of garlic and 1 teaspoon of ginger mixed in, some soy sauce, and you need some browning. Now we're gonna start mixing all our ingredients together. Now the first thing we're gonna add is, I'm just gonna add some of that pepper sauce in. And now what we do is season the meat. You can season the meat and cook it right away or let it sit in the fridge and absorb a little bit more of that flavor. But I'm gonna start with the pepper sauce. And then from adding the pepper sauce, we're gonna add the pimento peppers. We're not gonna add the Scotch bonnet yet. We're gonna add the Scotch bonnet last once the pot starts bubbling. And there goes in our ginger and garlic. Ginger and garlic gives the food and the meat itself a nice flavor, seasons it very well. And we're just gonna mix that up. Now the last ingredient we're gonna add into the seasoning of the meat is some soy sauce, and that's about maybe 2 teaspoons, 2.5 to 3 teaspoons. You can eyeball it, and you could use any kind of soy sauce you like. You can use dark, light, low sodium. It's really up to you. So we're gonna continue mixing this, and then we're gonna start our pot going. Now I'm using just a regular pot, and the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna add the onions and I'm gonna add the tomatoes, and we're gonna stir that up. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm having the pot heated up on medium, and we're gonna slowly start adding the veggies into the pot, and we're gonna let that saute up for a few minutes. And once we have our onions and everything sauteed up, then we're gonna add in the beef. Now normally and traditionally when you're making stew beef or stew chicken, a lot of people make it where they will go ahead and burn the sugar first. This is the same method I use that I make my oxtail, and I find the beef comes out really nice and the stew flavor is perfect. So don't judge me. This is just my version of stew beef. Couple minutes, we're gonna go ahead and add our beef, and I have the pot cooking at about medium, so you just want to keep it medium high while you're adding all the ingredients, adding the meat in. And we just want to stir the beef in to the pot and just kind of stir it in, let the meat get a little bit of that heat, let it braise a little bit. Next thing we're gonna add is that sugar, and you're gonna throw that sugar in there and you turn it up in the pot. And a couple more ingredients we're gonna add. We're gonna add a little touch of browning, about a teaspoon. You don't want to put too much because you don't want to kill the flavor. Another ingredient we're gonna add is about a teaspoon and a bit of the Creole seasoning. You get that at any Caribbean grocery, and that's a Chief brand Creole seasoning. Now the bottle is almost done, so I'm gonna do what I normally do, is just add a little bit of water, shake that up, and then pour the rest in there, just like that. Another thing I'm gonna add, and it might be strange, but just a little bit of that chicken stock seasoning. And you can use any kind. I'm using the Goya brand. And you might be wondering, why am I adding chicken stock into stew beef? Trust me, it just adds a nice flavor into the stew beef. And a little bit of ketchup. I'll probably say about a tablespoon a bit. You can eyeball how much ketchup. And we're gonna add some water. So we add all those ingredients, add some water, and add our Scotch bonnet and just stir it in. From there, you're gonna put it on medium heat, and you're gonna cover the lid and let that cook for about 45 to 50 minutes. We wanna make sure that the beef is nice and tender. So I'm just gonna pop the lid on and let that pot bubble. It's been about 55 minutes, and there we go, guys. My perfect Sean Grande style stew beef. You can see there, the beef is nice and soft and tender. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to What's in the Pot, and that was my Sean Grande style stew beef, Caribbean style stew beef. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family. And if you want me to make something, or if you're enjoying the videos, just hit the comments in below, and don't forget to subscribe. Till next week, peace.